Today we are talking about Anduin OS and a Bluetooth-based distro meant for Windows users coming over to Linux. But unlike the other Windows-inspired distro, Ubuntu, it's not a direct shell of the Windows shell. Instead, it uses a very wiced-up GNOME desktop. So today we're gonna look if Anduin OS is good for Windows users switching over to Linux for the first time and developers. So I'm on the Anduin OS website right now, anduinos.com. You could go to it right now. So we got the download, the docs, more docs, some news about the distro, some installs, the source code, and even the community. And downloads, donates, and downloads. That's pretty nice. So it uses some reasons why to use it, because well, it's GNOME-based desktop environment, open source, and bitch, ain't that the Chrome icon? How funny. So you can install like two versions of it. We got the 1.1 version, which is for long-term support and is supported until 2029. Got GNOME 46, Ubuntu 24.04 packages, the 6.14 version of the Linux kernel, and the latest version is 1.11.12. Then we got the version we're going with, the standard edition, which is supported until July of this year. Got GNOME 49, got Ubuntu 25.10 packages, got Linux kernel 6.7, got the latest version, which is 1.4.2, and uses Flatpak for graphical applications. So when you click the download button, you got to install it as a direct or a torrent. What you're going to install is at a torrent way, since at the base way, it doesn't have that much bandwidth, and we got to be installing it for Mental Outlaw, so that's kind of interesting. Well, I kind of already installed it, so let's just get straight in. Alright, so I'm on Anduin OS right now inside my virtual machine. If you can tell, it's pretty similar to Windows. Hell, even the background, like it reminds me of that Windows Server 2025 background that I like to on. The taskbar is pretty similar, being centered and all. I don't know if you could change it, should we? Here's the start menu, which looks nearly identical. And the funniest part is that this was actually developed by a former Microsoft employee that got laid off, so that's pretty interesting. Yeah, literally everything's similar to it back when I used Windows. That's kind of funny. So let's just open settings and see what we have over here. Alright, so it looks like it's just the regular GNOME settings. Ooh, I really like that. Privacy and security, let's see. Diagnostics, alright. Okay, so it looks like it has automatically better privacy than Windows. How funny. Then, wait, let's see. Alright, so it looks like, yeah, it just still uses Ubuntu. There's a weird branding going on, like, why does it still say do Ubuntu stuff? That's pretty funny. I know this is developed by one person, but still. Oh my, counts how you can sync it up. Hell, even Microsoft. I find that pretty interesting. Let's see if we can change the taskbar. Multitasking. Appearance. Oh, you can change the light? Let's see how that works. Oh. Okay. I prefer dark. Alright. So we obviously got one our next test, which is obviously system, because, well, this is a Windows version. Copy, whatever, obviously. Alright, so it only uses 1 gigabyte of RAM and about like 7% of like CPU. That is way lower than Windows, ironically, especially Windows 11. We can use up to 4 gigabytes, which is extremely bad for like a lower system, because inside my virtual machine, I only give like 4 gigabytes. Let's check out how the file system works. Okay, it looks like it's just like GNOME files. He did have his own icons of like this one right here with the desktop, which I find that pretty interesting. So, there's that. There's a software. They have a software store? Weird. Well, it's a beginner-friendly distro, so what do you expect? And it looks like it's just the GNOME store. The GNOME store is pretty good, but I prefer Discover on KDE, and I mostly use the terminal anyway, so there's that. And well, we all got the GNOME apps like weather, videos, like channel. What the hell? Weird. Yeah, like all the regular GNOME apps. Hell, even shit like camera, so that does make it kind of bloated, but hey, it's supposed to be Windows, what do you expect? So I'm just installing this on the live USB kind of thing, so I'm just going to install it onto this virtual machine once I get back. Oh, I saw you just rebooted Anduin. Oh, they actually made their own menu. How nice! They made their own loading screen. That's very nice, even though it's made by one guy. So I'm just gonna log in. Looks pretty basic. Probably just do Ubuntu one. But I can put in my super safe password. And now, come on. What? Whoa! What the? What is this? Why is it wagging to shit? Hold up. What was that again? Hold up. Alright, where's my aspect ratio? Back to where it belongs. And that was interesting. I guess it's like a multi-task view or something. So, we got the other distro stuff in here. Let's open up the terminal. Alright? Let's see if Neo Fetch is installed by default. Neo Fetch, what about Fast Fetch? Oh! Fast Fetch is installed. Okay, they made their own catchy icon. That's very nice. That's very nice. Alright, so these are my software specs for the VM. I see pretty nice so far. Let's just install a program. Let's install Super Tux Card. And MPV. Alright? I'm gonna get back to you once it's done, to see if it works or not. No, I already did it. So, looks like just the regular Super Tux card. Okay. Now let's just try to play a race. To see how it works compared to like Anduin OS. Where it like barely worked at all. Let's just see. Alright, so we're in the race now, so it's lagging pretty badly, but that's due to my virtual machine and all that. Hold up, we have a little weather thing in the corner. I find that very interesting too. Just like on Windows 11. I don't know, I should revisit Windows one day. I don't know if this is a virtual machine thing, but I can't move. I can't move. I'm clicking. I can't move. Please help. Please. So the final thing I'm going to do for today is just check out the software store, aka GNOME App Store. So there's pretty buttons in here like create, workplace, socialize, learn, and develop. Let's see if it's pretty similar if it uses snaps or FlatHub/Flatpak. Okay, it looks like it uses Flatpak. So nice. And what the hell is this socialize button all about? What is it use like version? Okay, it looks like it just uses as like Discord and my browser way off, and even more that, which I find kind of interesting. Alright, that's all we have to talk about today, or really all I want to talk about. So my experience, is it good for people switching over for Windows 11? Yes. Is it good for developers switching over for Windows 11? Yes. If you want to just switch to Linux, then yeah, it's pretty good to get used to it. But if you want something that doesn't work exactly like Windows 11, this is, well, obviously not your best choice. How about you go with Mint or like Debian or even Ubuntu? Next week, we're talking about the Mac OS equivalent of Anduin, Elementary OS. Keep using Linux, my brothers. See y'all next time.